Hi, everybody. Coming to you on a Thursday evening, 5:10 from Vancouver. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Bit of a different setting tonight. I'm trying to find a quiet place in my home to bring you the video. I think our weather is going to get pretty active in the coming days. Today pretty much played out the way as expected. The low offshore, which you can see on the satellite picture right here, has developed nicely early this morning. It fed a constant stream of rain moving south to north up the Cascades, spilling over into the east flanks and into central Oregon. Prineville had a tenth of an inch of rain. We had some lightning strikes around Jefferson. And then by late morning, that had faded away. The showers around this low have pretty much stayed offshore, but this low is going to be strengthening and then eventually pushing inland Saturday. So it still looks like that today was the first chance of getting some rain. It's turned out for the most part so far to only be what we had this morning, but we'll see if we get some showers yet this evening. Um, and then tomorrow's the first day where it's just kind of wet across the entire region with just occasional bands of rain coming through or numerous scattered showers at times. Because of this big low, the instability numbers support the chance that there could be some thunderstorms along the coast and in the valley, even first thing tomorrow morning. We had lightning strikes again today around Mount Jefferson this morning. We've had some lightning strikes out to sea around this low. So I've got several animations I'm going to show you as we get ready for what could be a pretty active Friday in terms of heavy downpours coming and going, maybe some rumbles of thunder, and then an overall and occasionally wet weekend. My forecast, as always, is brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics meant to educate you from local firm Momentous Wealth Management, licensed in Oregon and in Washington. Here's the from weather.gov, the National Weather Service's website, and their full disk satellite image. And you see the low right here just spinning. You see the cloudiness that's been thrown inland up ahead. We had some sun this morning, but then, it clouded over this afternoon. And right back, you see it's solid kind of stratiform clouds right now, but you can see convective bands offshore right here. And that first convective band is showing up to come in overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. So, with that said, the National Weather Service in green has put Western Oregon and then parts of west to central Washington in the convective outlook area for tomorrow, for Friday. This basically means instability, convective cumulus clouds popping, and the threat of not only some heavy convective rains, but some thunder and lightning. Um, Interestingly enough, we're not in that same outlook for Eastern Oregon, but there are chances of thunderstorms, according to this outlook from the National Weather Service over in Idaho. So that's tomorrow. Now, if I play this into what would be Saturday, all of the thunderstorm activity moves well to our east. And the reason is if I go back to this low, we're out ahead of it tomorrow. Tomorrow it strengthens. We get the south wind flow coming up ahead of it. That could pop thunderstorm activity. But Saturday, the low itself weakens and pushes inland. That does away with the instability of the south flow out ahead of the low, brings in more of just a stratoform, occasional rainy pattern that would not favor any thunderstorms and be more of just some typical rain on Saturday and then also into Sunday. So, with that said, we've got a couple of movies. These are courtesy of KGW TV and KGW TV's Futurecast. 8 o'clock this evening, it's showing a potential heavy downpour, maybe a thunderstorm around Eugene. Um, Hold on. It's kind of replaying here. Let me see it replay. Looked like it was reloading. My apologies. Okay, here is what I really want to show you. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This would be some heavy rain pushing up into Salem and then up through Portland. Could be some thunder with that. Still some lighter rain at noon. So if that's correct, it's pretty rainy tomorrow morning. And then here we are, 8 o'clock Friday evening. I misspoke earlier. That was a potential spotty storm in Eugene. And then, let's see here. It's going to play one more time. And then by the time we get to Saturday, it's just going to show you no storm chance, but some showers. So I wish it wouldn't play so quick, but it did. There's tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pop, heavy shower band, maybe some thunderstorms. That weekends, but we still have trailing rain amounts into the noon hour on Friday. Next up is going to be this Friday evening, chance of some scattered storms. This shows one down around Eugene, but there could be additional storms. This just isn't showing. And then by Saturday, now everything's coming in from the west northwest. and it's just some steady light rain for the most part. How much rain are we talking about? Here's the updated rain projection, good from right now through the day Sunday. Most models are pretty much in sync with similar amounts. It shows anywhere from a half of an inch of rain, 52 one hundredths in Newport, to maybe 94 one hundredths in Tillamook. For the valley, it's kind of similar. It shows over an inch down in Eugene, but closer to a half of an inch in Portland and Kelso and Longview. So we'll see. Shows well over an inch to maybe an inch and a half plus when you get up into the Cascades. There's rhododendron at 1,500 feet, 1.61, and shows some convective activity, maybe not thunder and lightning, but some heavier downpours in Prineville and out toward the Blues and La Grande, where you see 79 100ths of an inch of rain. So um, overall, this is pretty wet weather occasionally hitting us tomorrow, Saturday, into Sunday. Now, here's the national blended model. These are rain totals ending Sunday late afternoon at 5 p.m. And it pretty much shows the same thing as what that Futurecast model from KGW TV showed you. Shows 62 100ths in Portland, about 9 tenths down closer to Salem. Shows an inch and a half in Tillamook. So actually, some of these totals are a little bit higher. 6 tenths of an inch up in Kelso Longview, half of an inch of rain up in Seattle, then some decent rain amounts out east as well. So you get the idea, even though it's not going to be steady rain, but with occasional waves hitting tomorrow morning, and then some spotty storms later in the day and Friday, then just some periods of passing more gentle to moderate rainfall on Saturday and on Sunday, we rack up some decent rain totals. This is the overall flow pattern from the European model. This is this afternoon, 5 p.m. on this Thursday. Here's the upper level low, 549 be a 546 center contour right there. And here's what I'm talking about. So here's the low center. Remember the wind flow is parallel to these contours of pressure. So this shows you, follow my cursor, the winds coming up across California, southwest, and then due south to north, up Oregon, up the Willamette Valley, up the Cascades. That's instability on land ahead of the low. But as we play this into, here's Friday, still a situation, but Friday night into Saturday morning, see how the low weakens? Everything's pushing inland. Now it's just a typical west wind flow and the chance of any stormy weather to be over. But notice what happens. So that clears, and you're thinking, oh, wow, it could be kind of quiet on Sunday. No. See this second trough that's dropping in on Sunday? Yeah, look at that. And remember this trough, the second one comes straight out of Canada. So whatever happens, it would make sense that the air we have on Sunday, producing some additional rain with this additional trough, that the temperatures would be cooler. Some of the coldest models suggest snowflakes almost all the way down to pass level Sunday, which would be 4,000 feet. So we'll see. We'll be following that. Um, and then this kind of reinvigorates, and there's the rain going into Monday. Look at that. Good grief. Now, that drops well to our south on Tuesday. And if it does, if it gets all the way down into Southern California on Tuesday, on the north top of it, if you will, we could have a dry Tuesday followed by a really weak little low up here. And several other models show this. See the 561? That's a weak low. That would give us the shower. Let me back it up. The shower threat going into Wednesday. And then after that, there are signs that we get into this blocking ridging back here, and we would go on a dry run of weather, perhaps, Thursday, Friday. We'll see how long that could last into that following weekend. This is Wednesday of next week, which would be the 15th of October already. Can you believe that? Wow. Okay. All right, so that's the flow pattern that we're looking at. Let's go around the horn like I like to do. This is the Northwest Cities forecast on my weather site that I own and operate, portlandweather.com. This is widespread rain. Everybody has rain chances in their forecast. So Medford, rain at times, 60 degrees, cool down there too due to the clouds and the rain. And look at that, even down in Medford, 58 Sunday, 57 on Columbus Day, or Indigenous People Day, as well as we recognize here in the state of Oregon. And I believe Washington does as well. Okay, here's Bend. Look at that, Sunday 52, 53 on Monday. Widespread shower activity coming up for a number of days. Pelton's going to be similar, I think. Here's Pelton on Saturday, 63, but then on Sunday cooling into the 50s. Okay. Partly sunny Friday, and then the rain chances on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. All right. Again, this is a current temperature map on my weather site. And if you just click on the current temps, you get the forecast from the National Weather Service. Okay. Pretty cool. Friday, rain in Seattle. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a chance of showers. Then this shows a dry Tuesday and a dry Wednesday. But remember, there's that week low that could drop down on Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye on that. 56 on Sunday up in Seattle. State capital of Oregon, Salem, 62, 60, 58, 59. A dry Tuesday, a chance on Wednesday. That's exactly what I said. Okay. All right. And let's see what Astoria does. Yeah, rainy weekend at the coast. A nice Tuesday, chance of rain on Wednesday. Now, footnote, it's that time of the year that the 7 days you get out to day five, six, seven, you're going to see a lot of changes. It's not going to hold the same consistency that the models held in summer. So my point is, whenever you look at day five and there's rain ahead of it and rain after it, please realize that although this could come true, and it's what the models are showing right now, the chances of a 1 day dry window closing are at least 50-50, if that makes sense. Okay. I realize you know what I'm talking about. All right, North Bend, what we got? Temperatures in the 50s, rain on Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, pretty wet all the way through. Okay. All right, here's Portland. I just got new tires on my car today. Expensive, but that's the way it goes. From Hazeldale Tire Pros up in Vancouver on Highway 99 off of I-5. Highly recommend them if you live in Southwest Washington or even in Oregon. They're really good people, worth your trip, I think, to go see them. All right, so we've got the heavy showers. And remember, even tomorrow morning when you wake up, check the radar on my weather site. I also have an app, Portland Weather. If you search Portland Weather in your phone and look for my logo, you'll find my app. It's got radar on it from the National Weather Service. So we'll get up in the morning, see what the rain's doing. Could be some thunderstorms too, right? And then Saturday, it's just rain at times. The same thing into Sunday. And realize if anything, maybe I'm too warm. I said this the other day. Maybe Saturday's only 56. Heck, maybe Sunday's only 53. And then we've got some showers on Monday that could still easily be in the 50s. Again, I've been taking my temperatures down. Maybe I'm too warm. Tuesday, potentially a dry day, but no guarantees. That shower chance Wednesday, and then certainly a nicer Thursday is what we're showing up with right now. All right. That is your update. I'm Rod Hill. Thank you for watching and having interest in my forecast. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You'll be notified when I post. It helps me out too, and I will talk to you soon.